What's up, classmates? My name is Sol Cohen, and this is History Talks Mini Revolutionary War Edition. In this video, we are going to be talking about African Americans and their impact on the Revolutionary War. The two questions we are going to answer today at the end of this video are: how did African Americans impact the war itself, and why is it important to talk about or to understand the war in the first place? So here we go. So the first picture I have here, and it talks about why did African Americans join the war in the first place? Well, many of them were promised freedom. Many African Americans were ready and eager to fight, thinking they would often regain their freedom. There was known to be at least 9 black soldiers at the First Battle of Lexington and Concord on April 9th, 1775. Lexington and Concord is kind of the gateway into the actual Revolutionary War. So that is very big to have 9 black soldiers present at that war. Many white soldiers were on board with the idea of having black soldiers, but some thought that arming slaves could start some type of rebellion, as it would, because nobody wants to be a slave. Next, we have the impact of the war, the impact African Americans had on the war. A great number of white soldiers did not want to fight, so in place of them were African American slaves. The 1st Rhode Island Regiment was almost entirely made of black men. Almost 200 men signed up for it with a guarantee of freedom once the war was over. Up to 8,000 black soldiers fought for the Patriots, and up to 20,000 fought for the king. Some slaves were promised freedom if they fought, but instead British colonies were more worried about creating more peace between plantation owners and slaves. So once again, these African American slaves were a big hand in the Revolutionary War and just fighting and everything in general. And lastly, the impact on the African American society after the Revolutionary War was over. So only a small amount of soldiers who fought in the war are known today. We have Crispus Attucks was considered the first person killed in the war at the Boston Massacre, and Salem Poor, who was a patriot hero at the Battle of Bunker Hill. Some soldiers were freed, and most black soldiers did remain in slavery. There are tons of details that are unknown, and people continue to gain more knowledge on the impact of black people in the Revolutionary War. So for the questions at the end, how did African Americans impact the war? So like I said, because many white people did not want to sign up for the war, black people took their place. If black people had not taken their place, we would have had nobody to fight in the Revolutionary War for us, so we would have lost to the British colonies. And who's to say where we would have ended up? And why is it important to understand the war? It is very important to understand the war because this is a part of American history and shaping the America that we know today. Thank you for listening to History Talks Mini Revolutionary War Edition.